and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about eczema, and eczema is something that I have had for my entire life since I was a baby. That's actually one of the ways that my parents found out I had food allergy, because often food allergy and eczema are connected, and I have both of those things, and I was basically born a baby crocodile. And I don't have like the all over body eczema that I used to have when I was a little kid, but I do get some really significant patches, and sometimes they can be very difficult to overcome. They can have kind of an emotional burden or anxiety associated with them, because no one loves to have a big rash on their skin, and it's also extremely uncomfortable. And I just hate when people ask like, oh my god, what is that on your face? Like, it's not very nice. The last few weeks of social isolation, and really when all of this panic started, I had a few big flare-ups of eczema, specifically in my highest target area, which is like these two triangles areas of my face. They tend to get it the hardest, as well as the tops of my hands. In my experience, successfully managing eczema flare-ups comes from really tracking and knowing your skin and your triggers and what the early signs of a flare-up will be. Stress level has obviously been very elevated. Hot water constantly, from washing my hands 50 million times a day, even more than I normally do, and normally I wash them a lot. I've also been perhaps not doing my skincare routine the same way that I usually do, because my routine is thrown off, so I just it hasn't been front of mind. So those are the things that my skin likes, and the way that my skin has been kind of struggling in the past few weeks. I personally have been doing a lot of drawing. I've been going to bed a bit earlier, sleeping in a bit later, and if that's what my skin needs, the time to heal, then that's what I'm allowing it to do. I'm also doing a lot of like chamomile tea, hot bath. My hands have been obviously suffering from all of the hot hand washing, Purell, things like that. But the gloves that, oh, you can't really see this. This is a glove. This is a nitrile glove. Sometimes I wear these. Sometimes I wear cotton gloves, but these are fantastic, not just for keeping yourself safe from COVID virus germs, but also for eczema. So when I'm cooking, or when I'm getting my hands into dough, when I'm out at the store, I wear a pair of these, and it just saves and protects my hand a little better. I also have cotton ones. I kind of use them interchangeably. I find these ones are better for cooking, because obviously they're not absorbent like cotton ones are. I use ice, and this is something that I've always done. I find it really, really helpful when I'm having an eczema flare-up, because for me, there's kind of like an initial warning signal that an eczema flare-up is coming, and that's when my skin gets like really red and patchy. So it's not really a flare-up yet, but I can tell that like the texture of the skin is starting to change. And I also feel that the itchiness that I get from eczema is a little bit different than a typical itch. So for me, it's not just itchy, but it's also hot, and like it feels like my skin is pulsing. Like it feels like my skin is screaming from the inside, if that makes sense. So what I do when I get those feelings, first of all, absolutely no makeup. Like eye makeup, maybe okay, lipstick, sure. I'm at home right now, so I'm not really wearing makeup at all, but definitely no foundation, powder, bronzer, concealer, blush, glow up, like any of those things. I just stop right away as soon as I feel a flare coming. And same with hair products. I actually don't really use hair products aside from oils, but definitely no hair products during that time. So I just take a block of ice, as you can see here, and I just hold it in a paper towel. Now, some people that I've spoken to actually say that cold triggers their eczema flare-up. So if you're one of those people, then this is obviously not the solution for you. But if you're like me and heat really affects your eczema, like a nice cool piece of ice feels really good, and just very gently. Like you don't want to, you can't force your skin to cool down faster than it wants to. So just gently run it over. And especially if I'm having a moment where my eczema is really pulsing and it's really hot and it's really irritated and it's itchy and it's driving me crazy, then I just go and get a piece of ice. I lay down on the couch, I rub my face with the ice, and I just give myself the time to heal So as you can see, my skin just like immediately feels so much better. I used to be on like a much more serious steroid cream regimen. So I had one in the morning. I had one that I used 3 times throughout the day. I would take it to school with me, and then, and I would take it everywhere with me actually. It was this huge tub. I would just keep it in my backpack or in my swimming bag or whatever. And the third one was a really intense night cream. And that really helped my skin get back to a base level healthy, or non-flared when I was a kid. So that lasted me up until I would say like the early teen years, and then by that point I was able to switch to just one more mild steroid cream, and I've been using that same steroid cream just as needed for the last like 15 years. So I always have it in my cabinet. I always renew my prescription, and really I never finish the tube anymore, and I feel really lucky that my skin is in this manageable state. So the eczema is still there, but it's so much more manageable than it used to be. Another way that I avoid getting hot water on my face is that I just take a cold shower, which I do all the time, and it sounds really unenjoyable, but it actually becomes kind of addictive when you do it, and now I love having ice cold showers. Or if I have a warm shower that day, I just won't wash my face, and then I'll wait until I'm out, and then I'll wash my face with cold water out of the shower. But again, this is for people who are sensitive to heat, but the skin likes the cold. I know some people are the other way. This is my skin though. I have actually been using the same basic skin cream, face cream, since I was 10 years old, which is a long time. My skin just loves it. Anytime I try to diverge from it, it gets really angry and it does not work out. So I always use the same face cream. So after I do my ice, I just do a little bit of that. And usually I do a liquid clarifying lotion or a toner followed by my face cream, and then I use an eye cream. But if my skin is having like a really sensitive day, then I kind of just feel out what it wants. And some days it doesn't want the liquid toner. Some days it just wants a cream. Some days it just wants the eye cream. I really have to be able to intuit what my skin is asking for and what it desires. I actually had a lot of thinning of my skin because of steroid creams, so I also use an anti-age serum, which probably more intense than someone my age should be using, but I have a lot of thinning in the areas where the steroid cream is most used, so I tend to use it. It's what my skin needs. This is something that really started to happen in my late 20s. My skin used to be able to recover from it, but now if I use too many steroids, then I experience a lot of thinning of the skin in those areas, and sometimes it even changes color. It's like completely. So while all of this is happening, and it's, you know, as I mentioned earlier, it can be a really emotional load to deal with eczema because it's so irritable, it's itchy, it's distracting, people notice it. When I have a big flare-up, all I want to do is lay down in a dark room with ice on my face and watch a movie and be alone. I think that the silver lining is that if we are having a bad eczema flare-up right now, we have the opportunity to just lay in a dark room with our ice or whatever brings us some resolve or some comfort. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you enjoyed it, or if you have anything to share, if you have personal eczema triggers that you want to share, or things that you do to help moderate your eczema flare-ups, please share them in the comments, because I think it's so great to share information in this way, and I wish you all the best.